Hey everyone, and welcome to Top Think. Today we'll learn about letting someone go and Lao Tzu's wisdom on heartbreaks. Now, let's begin. How do you know when it's time to let someone go? Saying goodbye to someone you once loved, it's an incredibly difficult thing to do. Even if your relationship wasn't perfect, it can be so heart-wrenching that you may avoid it altogether, often at the expense of your well-being. It's common at the end of a relationship to see your partner through rose-colored glasses. You unconsciously ignore the problems that are right in front of you, finding ways to justify and excuse their unfair or unkind behavior. We all think we know better, but when we're truly attached to someone, we all struggle to let go. We all hold on to things and people that are not good for us, and we all hide from the feelings of heartbreak that awaits us on the other side. So why do so many people make this same mistake? Why is it so difficult to end a relationship even when you know it's the right thing to do? At some level, ending a relationship is like parting ways with a piece of yourself. Alright, let's say you've been dating someone for a couple of years. During that time, your lives have become intertwined. You shared possessions. You told them your secrets. You invested so much emotion into them, the last thing you want to do is say goodbye. It would feel like a tremendous waste of time and energy to end a relationship that consumed months or, in this case, years of your life. And to make matters worse, ending your relationships can create turmoil within your social world. After 2 years as a couple, people come to know you as a unit. In some ways, they may define you by your relationship or by the wants, needs, and preferences of your partner. There's a good chance you've made mutual friends. You may have met each other's families. In other words, ending your relationship means drastically changing how others perceive you. But more importantly, it means changing how you perceive yourself. Herein lies the real challenge of letting someone go. Yes, it's hard to explain your feelings to all the people you know, but it's the hardest of all to explain your feelings to yourself. You may have come to know yourself as part of a couple. You may not remember what it's like to be single, or maybe you can't envision what your life will look like when this relationship comes to an end. By letting go of your partner, you're not only saying goodbye to someone you loved, but you're also parting ways with a piece of who you are. Ending a long-term relationship is like quitting a job that you've worked at for years. You come to know yourself as someone who sits at a specific desk, works with specific people, and holds a specific title. But what if one day you decide to quit that job? What if you decide your job no longer makes you happy, or perhaps your coworkers don't value you as much as they should? If you leave that job, what will you do next? How will you spend your time? And how would you make sense of who you have become? These are terrifying questions that most of us want to avoid whenever possible. It's far easier to hide behind simple solutions and cling to familiar people instead of launching ourselves into the unknown. Even unhappy relationships provide us with some sense of definition and certainty. They give our lives structure. They allow us to understand ourselves in familiar terms, changing how we interact with the world and how others perceive our lives. So, does that mean we should cling to familiar things forever? Or is it possible there's something greater awaiting us far out in the unknown? Amidst the rush of worldly comings and goings, observe how endings become beginnings. These are the words of Lao Tzu, an ancient Chinese philosopher and writer. Lao Tzu is best known as the founder of Taoism and the author of the Tao Te Ching, an ancient text fundamental to many Eastern religions and philosophies. Taken from verse 16 of the Tao Te Ching, this ancient piece of wisdom captures the cyclical nature of our lives and the world in which we live. When one thing ends, another begins. Thus, every sad, frustrating, heartbreaking experience, though it's painful right now, is actually an opportunity to change and start anew. To borrow another popular quote, new beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. This concept captures a silver lining that so many of us struggle to see or understand in the emotional chaos of a fizzling relationship. As we wade through a flood of negativity, trying desperately to sort out our thoughts and feelings, it seems impossible to look beyond the conflict and turmoil that's right in front of us. All we can think about is the pain we're causing, the trouble we're creating, and the disasters that seem right around the corner. In these moments, it's critical that someone reminds you to do the one thing that we all fail to do in our darkest moments. No matter how painful it gets, you must remember to step back, find perspective, and breathe. In front of you, you see trouble, tears, and heartache. But beyond that pain and uncertainty is an opportunity to change your life for the better and find greater happiness and fulfillment. Right now, you may not be getting what you need. If you've made it this far in the video, it's likely because you're unhappy with the state of your relationship and you may be unsure of what to do next. Somewhere deep inside of you, there's a feeling, an instinctual reaction that tells you exactly what you want. If that gut feeling takes you back to your partner, if at the core of your emotional self you want this relationship, then you have something worth fighting for. But if your gut feeling tells you that something isn't right, letting go may be the best decision for you and your partner. Because no one deserves to be in a relationship that does not make them happy. No one should stay with someone out of fear, discomfort, or self-doubt. No one should cling to a relationship because they don't think they have any other choice. It will require courage, but you always have a choice, and you have the power to make that choice whenever you're ready. If or when you find the courage to let go, you may feel like a new path is open for you, a path that you never knew was there before. For years, you may have walked in the darkness, feeling like you had no choice but to push forward and hope that one day that your path will get easier. It's this mindset that prevents us from taking control of our lives, encouraging us to cling to comfort and familiarity. When we're afraid and hopeless, we take a back seat in our lives. We become passive and we forget that there are other roads to travel and other journeys we can take. As endings become beginnings, you may quickly realize just how open the world is in front of you. In many ways, letting go of something or someone means fighting for your freedom to make your own choices. Those choices can be good or bad. You can choose to love someone, just like you can choose to let them go. If you're happy walking the path you're on, smile and move forward because you found something that many people spend their lives searching for. But if you're not happy, don't be afraid to steer your life in a new direction. Yeah, it may be difficult at first. It may be painful too. But as long as you mindlessly follow the path that you're on, nothing will get better. Nothing will change. Unless one journey ends, another cannot begin. In other words, learning to let go means opening your life to hope, change, and opportunity. But that begs the question, how do you know when it's time to let go? There are many signs that a relationship has run its course. You and your partner may no longer trust each other. You may not communicate like you used to, or maybe you and your partner are more interested in other people. There are dozens of reasons why your relationship may be reaching its breaking point, which vary from one relationship to another, but we're going to cover one of the most common. Against your better judgment, you constantly worry about the present state of your relationship. In fact, you spend so much time justifying the present that you stop looking forward to the future. You spend all your time making excuses for your partner, arguing against your own decisions, and wondering if things are ever going to get better. If or when you become trapped in this toxic thought pattern, you may have become your own worst enemy. You may get angry at yourself, your partner, or your environment. You may search for something or someone to blame, running away from and avoiding responsibility for the problems in your relationship. You may terrorize yourself over the mistakes you've made, the time you wasted, or the opportunities that you've missed. And worst of all, you may convince yourself that you get what you deserve or that you have no right to pursue anything better. All of these patterns of thinking lead you down a dark and dangerous road, crippling your self-esteem and discouraging what should be a healthy and natural process. Letting go of someone doesn't have to be destructive. It doesn't have to be accusatory or toxic or pessimistic. While there's no way to avoid the pain of heartbreak, you can always step back, breathe, and take a moment to think about the future. Things may be difficult right now, but the end of every chapter is the beginning of something new. Hey, thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.